The noise is everywhere. Listen. Can you hear it? The endless noise. The never-ending voices. The constant hum of a world that never stops. The notifications, the opinions, the expectations, the pressure to be someone, the fear of being no one. It never stops, does it? From the moment you wake up to the second you close your eyes, there's something demanding your attention. Your phone, your work, your responsibilities, even your own thoughts, they refuse to be silent. It's loud, it's exhausting, and maybe, just maybe, it's drowning you. Silence isn't emptiness, it's power. People are afraid of silence. They think it means loneliness. They think it means something is missing. But what if silence wasn't an absence, but a presence? What if silence was where you found yourself? Because here's the truth: when the world is loud, your mind becomes louder. It starts shouting, repeating every insecurity, every fear, every regret. And that's why people avoid silence. They don't want to face what's inside. But what if you did? What if, instead of running from it, you embraced it? What if, instead of filling every empty space with noise, you sat in the quiet and listened, not to the world, not to other people, but to yourself? The world wants your attention. Don't give it away so easily. Every second of your life, something is trying to steal your focus. Social media, news, advertisements, even the people around you, some lifting you up, others dragging you down. Everyone wants a piece of your attention. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself, what do I want? What happens when you take back control? When you stop scrolling? When you stop reacting to everything? When you step away from the noise, just for a moment, you find something rare, something the world doesn't want you to have: peace. The only voice that truly matters. Here's something people don't tell you: silence isn't empty. It's full of answers, but you won't hear them if you never stop to listen. The world will tell you who to be. The world will try to define you. But your true self, the one buried under layers of distractions and expectations, that voice is waiting for you in the silence. So maybe it's time to turn down the volume of the world and turn up the volume of your soul. Because in a world that never stops shouting, the most powerful thing you can do is listen to yourself. Embracing the silence, the journey within. But here's the thing: learning to listen to yourself isn't easy. At first, the silence will feel uncomfortable, almost unbearable. Your mind will resist it. It will beg for distractions. It will try to convince you that you need the noise. Because silence, it forces you to face yourself. And that's terrifying, isn't it? To sit with your thoughts, to feel every emotion you've been avoiding, to acknowledge the dreams you've buried, the pain you've suppressed, the truths you've been too scared to admit. But this is where the real transformation begins. Because the moment you stop running from yourself, you start finding yourself, letting go of the chaos. Imagine for a second waking up in the morning without reaching for your phone first. Imagine sitting in a room alone without feeling the urge to check notifications, to scroll, to consume. Imagine walking outside, hearing the wind, feeling the air, existing in the present moment, without thinking about the next. What if you could train your mind to be still? What if you could find clarity, not by adding more, but by removing what doesn't serve you? Because here's a truth few will admit: most of the things stealing your attention, they don't matter. The opinions, the comparisons, the distractions. None of them bring you closer to who you're meant to be. But silence does. Because when you strip away the noise, when you break free constant pull of everything around you, you see things clearly for the first time. Your mind is a battleground. Win the war. Here's what people forget: your mind isn't just yours. It's been shaped by the world, by expectations, by judgments, by everything you've been told to believe. And when you allow constant noise into your life, you surrender control. You let others tell you what's important. You let distractions steal your purpose. You let the world decide who you should be. But silence gives you back your power, because in silence, you choose your own thoughts. You decide what matters. You stop reacting and start creating the life you want. And that changes everything. The strength of stillness. Most people will never understand this. They will chase the noise. They will seek validation. They will fill their lives with meaningless distractions. But not you, because now you know the secret that the world doesn't want you to realize. The secret that the strongest people aren't the loudest. They're the ones who can sit in silence and face themselves without fear. They're the ones who can hear their own voice in a world full of screaming. They're the ones who control their minds, their emotions, their destiny. And you have that power too. If only you're willing to embrace the silence. If only you're brave enough to listen. Because in a world that wants you lost in the noise, your greatest strength is the stillness within you. The courage to listen. Most people will do anything to avoid silence. They turn on music the second they wake up. They fill their schedules until they have no room to think. They drown in social media, in gossip, in endless distractions. Because silence forces them to confront what's inside. And for some, that's the scariest thing of all. But you're different. Because you're here reading this, searching for something more. You feel it, don't you? That pull towards something deeper. That quiet voice inside you, buried beneath the noise. Trying to be heard. Maybe it's telling you to slow down. Maybe it's telling you to change direction. Maybe it's begging you to stop running from yourself. But you've been ignoring it. Not because you don't want to listen, but because you're afraid of what it might say. Because once you truly hear yourself, there's no going back. Silence holds the answers you've been searching for. Here's the truth: everything you need to know is already inside you. The clarity you seek, the direction you crave, the strength you don't think you have. It's all there, but you've been looking for it in the wrong places. You've been searching outside yourself in opinions, in validation, in distractions, when the answers have been waiting in the one place you've avoided the most. Inside, in the quiet moments, in the stillness, in the silence. Because silence doesn't lie to you. It doesn't manipulate you. It doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what you need to hear. And that's why most people fear it. Because silence tells the truth. And the truth, it changes you. Reclaiming your mind. Think about it. When was the last time you sat alone with your thoughts? Not scrolling, not filling the space with noise. Just being. It probably felt uncomfortable, didn't it? That's because you're used to running from the hard questions, running from the emotions you don't want to feel, running from the version of yourself that you know you're meant to be but are too scared to become. But here's the thing: if you want to change your life, if you want to break free from the cycle of distractions, If you want to take back control of your mind, you have to stop running. You have to face yourself. You have to sit in the silence and let it speak to you. Because if you don't, the noise will own you forever. Your greatest power is already yours. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You don't need to follow the chaos of the world just because everyone else is doing it. All you need is the courage to be still, the courage to listen, the courage to trust that, even in the silence, you are not lost. You are exactly where you need to be. And the moment you stop fearing the quiet, that's the moment you start truly hearing yourself. And when you do, the whole world changes.